President welcome and Ijoma Onyato tonight. Muslims celebrate Eid-El Kabir. The president gives the armed forces order to secure areas vulnerable to terrorist attacks. Flood wreaks havoc on Benin City. Residents swim through flooded streets to rescue their property. More trouble for Osun State government as doctors protest alleged non-payment of their salaries and allowances. And the military leadership in Burkina Faso caves in, returns power to civilian authorities.
On business news, experts say Nigeria's economy may see some recovery in the final quarter of 2015 if oil prices recover, forex rates improve, and government debt services decline.
And on sports news tonight, Nigeria Football Federation secures allegiance of Arsenal starlet Alex Iwobi to feature for the Super Eagles in next month's international friendlies against Congo and Cameroon.
Tomorrow is Eid-El Kabir, and as Nigeria joins the global Islamic community in celebrating the festival, the President Muhammadu Buhari has directed armed forces and national security agencies to provide maximum security across the nation, especially in areas most vulnerable to terrorist attacks. The President has also congratulated Nigerian Muslims who are currently participating in the rites of the Hajj in Saudi Arabia. In a statement from his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Mr. Garba Shehu, President Buhari gives all Nigerians the assurance that their safety, well-being and progress remains uppermost in his thoughts and actions. The President also urges Muslims and other Nigerians to rededicate themselves to a greater acceptance and internalization of Eid's lessons of faithfulness, dedication, fortitude, obedience, sacrifice and self-service. The statement adds, the President calls for more patience, tolerance, patriotism and a greater willingness to make personal sacrifices for the good of all as his administration strives to lead the nation towards rapidly overcoming its current security, economic and development challenges. President Buhari also commiserated with families in Maiduguri and northeastern Nigeria who have lost relatives and loved ones in recent terrorist attacks. He insisted that the days of Boko Haram are numbered. In the meantime, the Nigerian army says it's arrested a man it describes as the emir of Boko Haram terrorists alongside 42 other suspects. The director of Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Usman, said in the afternoon, that was earlier today, that 241 women and children were rescued during the operation in Banki axis of Borno State. The army spokesman said the command considers this a major breakthrough with the arrest of Bulama Modu, who he says is the emir of Bulakuri. He says the troops are in very high spirits, and in the mop-up exercise by the Nigerian army troops, series of arms and improvised explosive devices were recovered. Also, a bomb-making factory was discovered in Dara Jamel in Borno State. Away from that now, motorists and residents of Benin City, the Edo State capital, are calling for the urgent completion of the Benin-Auchi Expressway, which has been abandoned for some months now. The calls were made following a heavy downpour which lasted for several hours on Tuesday morning, causing floods in many parts of the city and bringing commercial activities in the Edo State capital to a temporary halt.
Call it a very heavy downpour and you wouldn't be wrong. The early morning rain in Benin City and its environs indeed brought all activities to a standstill for hours, especially in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Of course, residents cannot but lament the situation.
Because we don't tire for this country, for this state and this country, Nigeria general. See Edo State. The bill has not been Nigeria with day.
This is the ever-busy Benin-Auchi Expressway, also in Benin City. Here, motorists and pedestrians swim in the pool of water while others scramble for alternative routes.
We even pay 20 naira pass wood. They can't put wood, the whole person they cross. We pass who go Libya.
Before I cross, now 20 naira now pay when I take cross down Morocco.
Morocco to 20 Libya.
Morocco to Libya, no.
We are suffering undue hardship, and it's not good. in an attempt to cross this water. I jumped, and unfortunately, I have dislocation.
My motor has been inside the water for past 5 hours now. Some boys I saw that I told them to come and help me to push it. They said I should pay them 5,000 first.
That we have a government that is not responsive and responsible to the plight of the masses. Is this the dividends of democracy? Is this what we voted for?
At the Ikpoba Hill axis of the city, the popular Oigbeni market, traders and buyers were stranded, a situation made worse by the huge traffic buildup. A peep into the famous Lucky Way in the same Ikpoba Hill axis reveals a tale of lamentations as traders, students, and even police officers are seen struggling with a huge storm, this time in a single file.
Sorry.
I hear tell my brother, don't go out, now market will be go.
And I vote for erosion.
This drainage across Ewa Road, which is aimed at controlling the erosion, can barely contain the huge volume of water from different parts of the city into Ikpoba River.
The National Emergency Management Agency has warned Nigerians to expect more floods as the Cameroonian government will release water again from its dams. This warning is coming from the Director General of NEMA, Mohammed Sidi, when he visited some affected areas in Kaduna, that's northwest Nigeria. Mr. Sidi said citizens should take the excessive rainfall prediction very seriously, insisting that those living in flood-prone areas should vacate such places.
3 days after the flood waters ravaged several areas in Kaduna, northwest Nigeria, residents there are yet to recover from the incident. The rain, which lasted for over 48 hours, affected 10 local government areas and even submerged houses, destroyed farmlands and other property.
I have the car in the house. Is anything that, in fact, my house will return, so everything I have as a man is so much. I was able to rescue my family, and they are having refuge in a friend's house somewhere upland. My people, the government, they have to come and rescue us here now. In terms of anyhow they can rescue, they come and they have to do it very, very fast and rescue us. Because
the areas around the drainage system, the gutter areas, they're all filled up. So it's water from outside that is now flowing into the pond now. So now the whole area is, you can't even tell, you can't differentiate between where there is a pond and where there is land. The fishes are all outside now, and the water level keeps rising. So like in a few, like I've been timing it. It's like the water level keeps rising like every 20 minutes. I keep giving marks, and after like 20 minutes I go back there and I'll see that the water level has risen again.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, visited the state to carry out an assessment tour of the situation and determine ways on how to help the victims.
About 10 local government, as I speak to you now, were affected by flood in Kaduna State. About 16 local government in Jigawa, in Kabir. Almost 20 local government in Adamawa State and other states that were mentioned in NIMET prediction. We spoke with the management of Ahmad Bello Stadium. They have agreed to give us some place here where we can have some temporary accommodation and shelter so that these people can move pending when the water recedes, and we'll provide them with food and non-food items. We should expect more flood. We should expect more states to be flooded, especially the frontline state.
While the people are told to expect more floods, it's important that the state government finds a way to reduce its devastating impact.
Away from flooding now, Osun State is experiencing some tough times as the state government grapples with a series of protests from different quarters. The recent one is coming from students of the Osun State-owned polytechnics and colleges of education. The protesters stormed the state government secretariat to kick against the closure of all institutions of higher learning in the states since January this year. Meanwhile, medical doctors and lecturers in the health sector are also aggrieved. Their grouse is that the agreement signed by the labour leaders and the state government on payment of outstanding salaries and deductions did not capture the main issues relating to their unions.
The students' protest hampered the free flow of traffic along the Osogbo-Bogan Road. Students from all 4 state-owned polytechnics and colleges of education defied the security presence and moved on to the main gate of the secretariat, carrying placards with various inscriptions and barring all vehicles from going in or out. Amongst the trapped commuters is the state's Deputy Governor, Mrs. Titilaoye Tomori, who is also the Commissioner for Education in the state. She tries to appease the students.
We are declaring mightily that if the governor of the state is here, or the deputy governor, or the speaker, we are not going to allow any of them to leave our midst until they declare the announcement of our campuses reopening.
Yeah. The governor has directed that they must resolve the issue of the ongoing strike of the tickets so that students can resume.
That may have been soothing to the ears of the students as they dispersed, but elsewhere in the state, the leadership of the Association of Medical and Dental Officers and the resident doctors from the Lautech Teaching Hospital, Oshobo, are also aggrieved. They claim they are not part of the negotiation and issues relating to the non-implementation of the federal government circular on adjusted CONMES, which is a salary scale for doctors and was not captured in the agreement, and that there is still evidence of arbitrary cut in the doctors' pay.
Members of our association have never received full salary as contained in the CONMES circular, and that we are yet to be called to the negotiating table for the revised CONMES circular, which is the subsisting circular for payment of medical and dental officers all over the federation, which our colleagues have started enjoying since January this year.
The way things are going now, the federal government should hands off and allow each state to negotiate according to their capability.
Lecturers in the state-owned tertiary institutions have also refused to call off the ongoing strike until the government agrees to its demands. In the meantime, the medical doctors have issued a strike ultimatum, and while the lecturers have vowed not to call off their strike, the students in the middle of it all are worst hit and are appealing for peace.
In part 2, after the break, President Buhari directs the Inspector General of Police to ensure the quick rescue of elder statesman Chief Olu Falaye. That's in a moment. Do join us again.